Hello, and welcome to channel Ein Key, and I am your host, Voluntary. So, there was almost a live-action woke version of the Powerpuff Girls, which featured them all grown up. It might not be gone, it might still be in the works, modified from the version that has been leaked, but I'm referring to the leaked version only. This brings me back to an older video I did on the cultural appropriation of geek culture by the woke. It was sarcastic and tongue-in-cheek, because not only do I not think cultural appropriation is bad, the woke don't consider geek to be an oppressed, non-white, sacred, untouchable culture. Still, I didn't go much into the why of this appropriation. I merely criticized the woke for breaking their own rules. There is a reason they do this. Some of it is quite understandable, and some of it is rather awful. And I want to go into it today. I'm not going to directly criticize this particular instance. I'm more interested in using it as a launching pad for a more generalized overview. If you want a properly harsh criticism, I'll recommend that you go to ProcrastiTara's channel and see her video. A few years ago, when I was going for yet another college degree, I had to take freshman English again. My previous credits failed to transfer fully for some rather complicated reasons. Anyway, there I was working towards my third bachelor's degree and taking freshman English. We were assigned a book, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. While I was skeptical, I did give it a chance, and it turns out I actually loved the book. So, Sherman Alexie, in the 1 in a billion chance that you are watching, good job. Anyway, the teacher was leading a classroom discussion on the book, and I described it as romantic. Then I quickly clarified that I did not mean Harlequin romantic, but the literary era as typified by Victor Hugo and his epic masterpiece Les Miserables. In romantic literature, you have larger-than-life characters and extraordinary accomplishments, such as described in Les Miserables. Not just the hero and protagonist Jean Valjean, but most of the characters. The antagonist, Inspector Javert, is a romantic hero, albeit a tragic hero. The only villains in the book are the Thénardiers, and not even all of them. Turns out, Eponine is even a hero. The romantic hero doesn't even need to be an extraordinary person, though. Could be an ordinary person who's going out of their way to do something extraordinary. That is the case with Arnold Spirit Jr., the protagonist of Part-Time Indian. He wasn't Jean Valjean, but he was going out of his way to accomplish more than he had done before, and to be better than he was before. One thing that sets Part-Time Indian apart is that it is romantic literature in the modern age. However, I also think that there is a lot of romantic literature written today, which makes it seem as if I am contradicting myself. Modern romantic literature isn't written in a way that most people would recognize it right away. In general, It's written in the science fiction and fantasy section. And, of course, that bleeds over into movies made from those, and into comics, and into gaming. The whole of geek culture consists of a love of that type of romantic literature, combined with the occasional superpower or magic spell. It is a want to identify with great heroes doing great things. Whether it is Frodo on his quest to destroy the One Ring, or Billy, Lee, and Jimmy rescuing Marion from the Black Warriors in the video game Double Dragon, or Luke Skywalker saving his father from the dark side, or Mario saving Princess Peach from Bowser, they all involve doing something great. The entertainment providers may not understand it. In fact, those in Hollywood certainly don't. But they understand that fans are willing to pay for it. And willing to pay a lot for it. So even though they don't understand, they keep trying to make it. You can tell they don't understand by the way they keep screwing it up. But you can tell they recognize it by the way they keep trying to make more of it. When you have an industry doing this well, people who don't belong there will try to get in on the action. They see lots of people are doing well telling these stories. Whether it is movies, television, novels, comics, or video games, the basic thrust is they are doing well telling stories. That means I can do well telling my story in their genre. The problem is, woke stories aren't romantic stories. They simply aren't. There is nothing in the genre that says the hero has to be a white cishet male. There are plenty of heroes in the genre who aren't. When the 2016 Ghostbusters came out, or when the Batwoman series came out, or when Star Trek Discovery came out, or when the MCU Captain Marvel came out, in each case it was advertised as finally media with a strong female lead. I then turned to watch Star Trek Voyager, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Xena Warrior Princess to see a strong female who also has a strong story. That's the missing part in woke storytelling. The story. Woke movies like the 2016 Ghostbusters or MCU Captain Marvel. Woke television like all of Batwoman and most of Supergirl. Woke comics like the newest proposed version of the New Warriors with Snowflake and Safe Space. Woke video games like Depression Quest. They are all missing the story because they aren't about telling a story, but about preaching a particular virtue. And the particular virtue, it's not the virtue displayed in Romantic era literature. You can preach a virtue and tell a story at the same time, but that's not what they're doing. Now we're back to the most recent example of this. Other than it having characters with superpowers, what does the new Powerpuff Girls have to do with the characters that the fans love? Nothing. But it gives a vessel by which those who can't tell a story try to tell a story. When all you know is deconstruction, you don't know construction. That is why they can't tell a story. You need to construct a character who has character traits, not present one who has identity traits. You need to construct a plot that has challenges, not present a plot that has identity traits. You need to construct villains and antagonists that have motivations, not present ones that have identity traits. Take any character from any story and say, what is this person's motivation? And if there is no answer other than identity traits, there is no story. One thing that separates entertainment media from everything else is that the fans aren't required to purchase or indulge. In general, people do have to go to school. People have very little say in their government anymore. If you want to stay informed, you either have to watch the mainstream and more woke version of the news, or look hard for alternative sources. For leisure, you don't have to watch any particular show, read any particular book, or play any particular game. No amount of name-calling, saying the fans are racist, sexist, or whatever else, will cause people to actually proactively go out to partake of the entertainment. And that is why woke entertainment fails. You cannot make people watch a crappy show or play a crappy game. This is one area of the few that remain where the consumer actually is the king. Thank you for watching. We're now in the double digits for subscribers, and hopefully we will only keep growing. So please like, share, comment, and subscribe to help my channel grow.